Hey everyone, this is Mike Fauché, and today's video is about travel tech. I've had several trips in the past year, including a couple of cruises, and I've had varying degrees of frustrations with the tech that I was carrying. Today's video is about what I settled on and why. The goal was to keep the weight down but the functionality up, so today I wanted to share with you what worked for me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this video useful, as it really does help support the channel. A little bit of background on this video. I've been traveling more lately, and it's become increasingly more difficult to bring everything I need. Currently, I travel with a laptop, 2 iPads, 2 iPhones, 2 Apple Watches, and a couple of travel routers, as well as some portable storage. Add to that the cables, the headphones, the power adapters, and it gets pretty heavy to lug around in a backpack. To put it in perspective, my initial setup weighed around 26.6 pounds or 12.07 kilograms, which is pretty heavy to lug around all day. After my last trip, I decided I had to try and figure out how to lighten and simplify what I was bringing with me without giving up any capabilities. So today I'll share with you what works for me in hopes that you can get some ideas for your own travel setup. Let's start by talking about travel routers. In today's environment, you probably don't want to travel without using a travel router. In addition to extra security, these things can save you money. I put links to full reviews in the description if you want to know more details. In my recent trip, the GL.iNet Slate 7 has been my go-to device. I did recently pick up a unified travel router to see how that fits my needs, and it works perfectly almost everywhere. It's super small, built-in VPN, common Wi-Fi to your home network, and many other features in a really small package. However, I did have some trouble on my last cruise using the ship's portal login, and I didn't have time to troubleshoot the problem. So I'll be using it again on my upcoming trip, and I'll do a separate video on how that performed. On the cruise, however, the GL.iNet was the real MVP. It let me share one Starlink connection with 6 different devices when I was in the cabin, allowing me to VPN home to my network, view security cameras, and stream whatever content I wanted, and of course log into any device that was on my Tailscale network. One last thing before we leave travel routers, they can be a game changer for entertainment. If you're on a cruise ship or in a different country, you can just bring your Apple TV or any kind of streaming stick that supports Tailscale. You can mimic being at home and stream your content from your Plex or Jellyfin server without any regional restrictions. It's a fantastic feature for your families, or if you just don't like the entertainment that's being presented to you. Drop a comment below if you want me to make a full video on how to set that up. Let's talk about power strips. Many hotels and cruise ships are cracking down on using large power strips, so lugging around a gigantic power strip in your check-in luggage isn't a great idea. I found this sleek little anchor device that really fits the bill. It has 2 USB-A and 2 USB-C ports, and the power ports actually collapse and lay flat when they're not in use, saving a bit of space in your backpack or your luggage. When you're ready to plug something in, the outlets actually pop up, giving you high-power charging station in a tiny little package. It's perfect for packing in your check-in luggage, since you really don't need it until you're settled into your hotel room or cruise ship cabin. To get the most out of the power strip, I usually bring 2 or 3 additional USB chargers, which is probably an overkill. I also make sure I pack a 100-watt charger for charging my laptop and iPad or any other high-powered device all at once. If you're in the Apple ecosystem or your phone has MagSafe, these all-in-one MagSafe chargers are awesome. They come in different styles and shapes, and I'm a big fan of these because you can charge your phone, AirPods, and watch all at the same time using just one USB cable. It's a great way to keep cable clutter down to a minimum, and it's so much more convenient when you're on the go. I've been using this for a long time, and they've been awesome. Let's talk a little bit about power banks. Unlike your cables and power strips, which can be tucked away in your check-in luggage, power banks have to stay in your carry-on due to travel regulations. Even though most planes and hotels have USB outlets, you'll still want portable power just in case you need it. I've used several of these types over the years and have settled on these depending on where I'm going. I have a smaller Anchor battery, which I've had for a couple of years, and it's been a real workhorse. But I also recently picked up the Ugreen 145-watt charger for my iPad and laptop. Just remember, these take up real estate and add weight to your backpack or your luggage, so be selective and only bring the ones you actually use.
Cables is something I've always struggled with, as I tend to overpack the number that I need. Lately, I really like these retractable cables. They're great for your backpack or your pocket, and they can handle up to 100 watts for charging. You just pull out exactly what you need, and then retract it when you're done. For everything else, I've narrowed it down to about 6 essential cables. I picked up several different types of 1.5-foot cables from Amazon to support the different devices, as they're the perfect length for charging at a desk or a nightstand, and they come in either 60 or 100 watt options, so they can handle the power or data easily while you're keeping your bag organized. So we can put all this together. Let's talk about backpacks and bags. Choosing a bag is really subjective, and it's kind of a personal choice. You have to find the one that works right for you and meets your specific needs. But for me, after trying several backpacks, this TomTok was the clear winner for me. I've owned several TomTok laptop bags in the past, and the quality is top-notch. At 20 liters, it's just the right size for me to fit my laptop, iPad, headphones, cables, chargers, and travel routers that we talked about throughout the video. It has a great padded strap, and the compartment layout is excellent for what I need. This isn't the only choice out there, but it's just the one that works for me. In addition, using a small carrying pouch that I bought on Amazon, I put the extra cables, the power strip, and extra USB chargers that I don't want to carry around with me, which I actually put in my check-in luggage. If you're interested in any of these, you can find some links in the description for everything that we've discussed. In addition to having the right hardware, you might also need some software tools. As I'm totally reliant on being able to connect to my home network for a variety of tasks, having my own VPN is critical. There are 2 types of VPNs that you should consider. The first is something like NordVPN, which will allow you to appear in a different location, which is great for using your streaming accounts or accessing content from your local country. Then there are VPNs such as Tailscale or WireGuard, which allow you to route part or all of your traffic to your home. Though I use them both, accessing resources such as my files, security cameras, home automation is very important to me. Most travel routers support both, except the Unify, which has its own built-in. Since early days, I've been a Tailscale user, and it's currently my tool of choice anytime I travel away from home. I'll post some links on various ways on how to set up Tailscale, and I'll be releasing a step-by-step tutorial on how to set it up specifically for traveling and streaming your own content. Anyway, I'll put a list of everything that we've talked about in the video description if you want to check these out. These are affiliate links, and they really help out the channel without costing you any more. Let me know in the comments if you're using something different, or if you'd like to see a full video dedicated to configuration, setup, and use of any particular VPN. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.